here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. Today is Tuesday, so we are taking part in Tuesday Inspiration, and that is a hop run by 4 of us at the moment. There's Mel from Mel W Scrapping, there's Holly from Ivy Cole Creations, there's Jen from Kay's Mum, and myself, the Scrapbooking Photographer. So each week somebody brings some inspiration to the group and we all interpret it in our own way. So this is the photo that I submitted for this week, which is obviously food related, and I'm tying it up with the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and this is the sketch for today. So the photos I have got are around food. This is our Photography Club a Christmas lunch table. This is the main course. It's a shared lunch, so everybody takes their own and we all share what we have, and this is the dessert. Absolutely divine. We also have a very clever flower lady amongst us, and so we have beautiful arrangements on the table as well. So I've had that printed as a 12 by 8 and cut it down to 8 by 8, not quite 9 by 9 as per the sketch, but that was just a step too far for the place where I get my images printed. So these are quite similar in colours, and it's quite a busy page when you kind of put them out like that. So I will be mounting these two to start with to try and provide some separation with the big one in the background, and perhaps also adding some dimensionals to lift them up a little bit from the page. In the background I'm using these beautiful metallic papers from the Flower Garden foils with Stampin' Up, this beautiful red, and it's only on one side, so you don't get faced with the dilemma of which side to use. It's the beautiful embossed, I'll see if I can show you that lovely pattern on there, and then there's the silver one as well. So I thought 2 on the outside of that colour, the silver in the middle, and then mounting these photos. So let's get started. So the sketch is by Wendy Germaine Crow, and she has put 2 strips of 2 inches wide and 11 high. So we'll trim those first, and those go on the outside of the page. And just trim an inch off here. And it's such beautiful paper, I'll be keeping every scrap because I will find something to use them on, perhaps on the companion page. And the strip in the middle is 1 inch by 11. So we'll do that in the silver. So this will be, I think, quite a quick page to put together. I don't know that there'll be a lot of embellishing because it's quite busy with those flowers and things. That there, and that in the middle. And then we have these beautiful flowers there. Now, because it's 8 by 8 rather than 9 by 9, it doesn't quite reach the outside. So what I'm thinking I might do is mount it. So this is the strawberry slush, and it's not quite the same colour as the metallic one. No, and I don't think I want to introduce that. So what I might do is to do the silver, just to get that extra inch. I think that will make it fit a little better on these guidelines down the outside. I'll bring that in. What does that look like? It's 2 tone, so let's try the other side. Nope, don't like that. How about some more white or some vellum? I think the vellum is a little bit washed out. The white's not too bad. That gives it a little bit more of a highlight that blends in with the back. So we might just go with that. And I think we might put a red one down the middle there as well. And I think bringing this in, yeah, that's going to work better. Okay, so I'm going to trim this so we've got 1/4 of an inch all the way around, which means I need to trim it 1/2 an inch, so 8.5 by 8.5. And then with the silver, we probably want 1/2 an inch on each side, so that would be 9.5. So it makes it slightly bigger than the sketch, but that's okay. So we'll try that first, 9.5 by 9.5. And that kind of evens up that space around the outside quite nicely. Okay, are we happy with that when it's all stuck down? Now what I'm definitely going to do though is cut out the middle of this beautiful piece of metallic foil paper so that we can use that on another project. So there is an option to mount these in the vellum, which just softens them a little bit against that background and gives them a slight separation, which enables us to still see through it. So that's one option. The other option is to use the red, but I think that's too much. I actually quite like the vellum because it's a softer look to it. I've mounted these in vellum, and I think they will go quite nicely in the corners, up top right and bottom left. These ones I think are a little bit big. I know the sketch says 4 by 6, but I think I'm going to trim this down to about that, just so that it doesn't overtake the flowers quite so much. So we can come in there and make sure they're both the same. So let's see how we go with that. I'll just put the trimmer over the top. If we take off from the bottom of the trifle, we could probably come down to 4 inches. And could we do the same on this one? Yes, I think we could. Okay, so we're going to go for 4 inches square. These were just phone photos snapped quickly as we were approaching the buffet table, because the food was just amazing. You know, what people bring to a shared lunch is quite incredible. Bits. Now, if we've got 4.5, we want 1/4 of an inch all the way around, so this needs to be, that should be 4.5 wide. It is. So we'll make it 4.5 long as well, turning it into a square. It's just slightly bigger than the photo. Let's see how that comes together. And I think the main course can go up there. Yeah, I think that's better if we get a little bit of the red around the outside and down the bottom as right. So first thing I'm going to do is stick all of those bits together, so all of the mats to the photos, the 3 mats there, that's a gutted one, and these to the page, and I'll be back in a sec when that's all stuck down. So I've stuck those bits down, and I've used my mat to make sure that they're relatively evenly spaced, I think. And I've got this ready to stick on to the silver mount, but I think it needs a little bit of red around the outside. So at the risk of ruining it, I'm just going to quickly go around the outside with the candy apple from Close to My Heart. And maybe that will give it a bit of a definition. Okay, so we'll just let that dry a little bit before we put it on the page. But I think that just helps to define the white against the silver a little bit and brings a little bit more of that red in. So we can stick that down now, and we'll put that right against the background so we can put lots of adhesive over it. Right, now I'll carry on with my sticking. I'll be back in a sec. Right, so I've stuck all these photos down now, and we can fiddle with where they're going to go. I'm conscious of this main bunch of flowers here, so I'm just wondering if we move these to the opposite sides, that might work a little better. Or actually going completely against the sketch and putting them like that. I think I like that the best, because then you've got this bottle brush coming down here, which is the red, which we see on the side as well, and there's a bit more red in here and here, and we can see that clump of flowers, and we've got little red bits all the way around. Yep, so I think we'll stick them there, but what I'm going to use are these adhesive sheets from Stampin' Up, which you can cut to size. And they just work really well to raise the photos a bit. They're sort of like dimensionals, but bigger. You can make them any size that you want. And that covers that really bright spot in the window there too. So just by lifting that up a bit, it just gives that extra little bit of separation between the photo and the background. So we'll do the same with this one over this side. This trifle was delightful. Everybody brings their specialty dish to the Christmas do. Make sure it's kind of even. So I'll cut some strips. Now you can also get foam strips from Stampin' Up that are already cut into strips, but given that we've got this out, we'll just use that. It should be all right without anything in the middle. And I guess if you used the 9x9 as a piece of cardstock, then it wouldn't matter so much where the photos go, but because I've used a photo and the flowers and things were part of the day, I want to be able to see what's there as well. I think we've got it sorted now, and that uses that sheet of adhesive up nicely. It's funny how you can see it in your mind's eye before you put it together and think, oh yeah, that will look cool, but when it comes to the crunch, sometimes it just takes a little bit of tweaking to get it right. Okay. Now because I've gone around the inside here, or the outside of that extra piece of white daisy, I'm going to do the same around the outside, and it's just using again the candy apple ink pad, and you can lean it over to get a little bit more of a smudge if you want it a little bit more evident. Okay. Alright, so now we just need a title and a little bit of embellishing. So this alphabet from Close to My Heart was called Peanut Banner Alphabet, and it's a nice straight block letter. The letters are the right size to fit just in here. So that's what I'm going to use. Now the camera club that I belong to is TACC Camera Club, commonly known as TACC, T-A-C-C. So I will put the mat down so that we've got some sponge underneath. And leaving room for the second C, we'll just come down here straight onto the page. Cool, and then I'll grab the C. See if we can line that up. CC, and then in here I'm going to put 2024. There's the same amount of numbers as there was letters, but we're going to have to do it in 2 goes, obviously, because 2024. So we'll start with 20. And take the 0 off and put the 4 on. It's a little bit crooked, but it's fine. And I can also combine these close to my heart candy apple dots because the colour matches actually quite well. And we've also got some silver gems from Stampin' Up, which I was just actually going to put on the photo just to add a little bit of bling. Okay. That's probably enough. There will be a companion page, obviously, for the prize giving part, but that is my Tuesday inspiration, and also 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life for day 24. Yeah, just showing how the sketch can be changed and often needs to change as you go to put it together. It doesn't quite work. As I say, with this being a photo, it changed the dynamics a little bit. If it was a piece of uniform designer paper, then the other photos may have fitted on it a little bit easier, but I really wanted to include those flowers. Thank you, Elaine. That was a great sketch to work with. So thanks very much for watching. There will be a playlist underneath for both 30 Days of Sketches and also our Tuesday Inspiration Hop. And next week we have a very interesting inspiration from Mel. So make sure you're watching and see what that comes in as. All right, guys. Happy crafting!